There's a particular kind of evening some of you know too well. The house is quiet in a way it didn't used to be. You're sitting on the edge of the bed or at the kitchen table, and something in your chest just gives way. A hard day, an old grief, a phone call that didn't go well. And before the first tear even lands, you feel it. A weight on the cushion beside you. She came. You didn't call her. You didn't make a sound she could have planned around. But she came anyway, and she stayed. For years, scientists dismissed this as wishful thinking. Cats are aloof, the story went. They tolerate us. They don't comfort us. But in the last decade, that story collapsed under the evidence. Researchers now have controlled studies showing what cat owners always suspected. Your cat is reading your emotional state constantly and adjusting herself to it. She knows when you're happy, she knows when you're frightened, and she knows, with a precision that has stunned the people who study this, when you're in pain. Today, I'll show you the 7 ways your cat responds to your emotions, most of which you've never noticed. Pay close attention to sign 4. Because it involves something your cat does with her own body that the science suggests may literally be helping your body heal. It sounds impossible. The frequency data is real. Welcome back to House Cat Heart. Let's talk about the quiet things she does when you're hurting. Sign 1. She reads your face before you say a word. You walk into a room, you haven't spoken, your posture is normal, more or less, but your cat lifts her head, watches you a moment longer than usual, and something in her shifts. That's not your imagination. In 2015, researchers ran an experiment built on a method psychologists use with human infants called social referencing. It's the thing babies do when they meet something strange. They look at a parent's face to decide whether to be scared. The researchers put cats in a room with a mildly alarming object, a fan with ribbons attached, and had owners react either calmly or with fear. 79% of the cats looked back and forth between the object and their owner's face, checking in. And then they adjusted their own behavior based on what they read there. When the owner looked afraid, the cats grew wary. When the owner stayed calm, the cats relaxed. Think about what that means in your living room. Your cat is using your face as her source of information about whether the world is safe right now. Your expression isn't decoration to her, it's data. So when you walk in carrying something heavy, she has already read it before a single word. Tonight, notice the look she gives you when you come home. She's checking the weather, and the weather is you. Sign 2. She matches her mood to yours. There's a phenomenon psychologists call emotional contagion. It's why one anxious person can tighten a whole room, or one calm voice can settle a panicked one. Emotions are contagious between humans, and it turns out they're contagious between you and your cat. When researchers study homes where the human is chronically stressed, they find cats that are measurably more stressed too. More hiding, more vigilance, the small signs of a nervous system on alert. In calmer homes, calmer cats. Your emotional state doesn't stop at your skin. It crosses the space between you and settles into her. Here's the part that matters when you're hurting. If you've ever been crying on the couch and noticed your cat go still and watchful beside you, not playing, not begging for food, just present and quiet, that stillness is her catching your frequency. She has tuned herself to you. So tonight, if you want to give her a gift, give her a few minutes of you being genuinely calm. Slow your breathing. Soften your shoulders. She'll feel it, and she'll borrow it. Sign 3. She hears the distress you think you're hiding. Your voice changes when you're upset. Not in the obvious way. Even when you think you're holding it together, the pitch, the rhythm, the little catches in your breath all shift. You can't fully hide it, and your cat can't help but hear it. Cats have extraordinary hearing, and more relevant here, they've spent thousands of years specializing in the sounds humans make. A 2019 study found something poignant about this bond running both directions. Cat owners, compared to non-owners, rated the distress cries of cats as more upsetting, more urgent. We are wired to hear their pain, and it appears to be mutual. Your cat is acutely sensitive to the tones that mean her person is not okay. This is why so many owners report the same thing. The cat who ignored them all day suddenly appears the moment they start to cry. It isn't the tears she's responding to. It's the sound, the shift in your breathing, the change in your voice that you didn't even know you were making. Tonight, if she comes to you when your voice breaks, understand that she heard something real. You weren't as composed as you thought, and she was listening. Sign 4. The purr that may be healing you. This is the one I told you to wait for. Stay with me, because the science here genuinely surprised me. We think of the purr as a happy sound, and it is, sometimes. But here's what most people don't know. Cats also purr when they're injured, frightened, giving birth, or dying. A purely happy sound would not show up in the worst moments of a cat's life. So researchers asked a harder question. What if the purr isn't only an emotion? What if it's also a mechanism? When they measured the actual frequency of the domestic cat's purr, they found most of it falls between 25 and 150 hertz. That range turns out to be remarkable because frequencies in that exact band have been studied in human medicine for their effects on the body, promoting bone density, easing pain, reducing swelling, speeding the healing of tissue. The same low-frequency vibration we build into therapeutic devices, your cat generates with her own body. Now layer that onto everything we've covered. She reads your face. She catches your mood. She hears your distress. And when she responds by climbing onto your chest and purring, pressing that low, steady vibration directly against you, she may be doing something measurably good for your body, lowering your stress, slowing your heart, possibly even helping you physically mend. We can't yet say she does it on purpose to heal you. What we can say is this: the cat who purrs against your chest on your worst night is delivering a frequency that medicine takes seriously. Tonight, if she does it, don't move her. Let it work. Sign 5. She brings her body to the hurt. Pay attention to where she chooses to be when you're unwell. Owners reported again and again, specific enough to be eerie, the cat who lies down precisely on the part of you that hurts. The lower back during a bad spell, the stomach during cramps, draped over the chest during grief. People assume it's coincidence, but cats are drawn to warmth, and inflammation produces heat. A sore joint, a tense muscle, a fevered body all run slightly warmer. She may be locating your pain through the simplest signal there is: temperature. And there's a second layer. Contact with a calm, trusted animal does measurable things to the human body. It releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, and lowers cortisol, the stress hormone. It slows the heart. The weight of a cat settling against you isn't just sweet, it's physiologically regulating. Your body reads safe and stands down. So when she crosses the room, steps onto the exact spot that aches, and settles there with her full weight, she's bringing the one thing she has to offer: her presence, her warmth, her body. Tonight, let her pick the spot. She may know something your hands don't. Sign 6. She stays when everyone else would leave. Here's something we don't talk about enough. When a person is in deep distress, sobbing, shaking, truly falling apart, it makes most living things want to leave. It's instinct. Distress signals danger, and danger says go. Even people who love us sometimes don't know how to stay in the room with that much raw feeling. Your cat stays. She doesn't fix it. She doesn't need you to stop. She doesn't get uncomfortable and find a reason to be elsewhere. She simply remains at the edge of the storm, keeping a quiet watch until it passes. For a lot of people, especially those living alone or carrying something they can't say out loud, that steady, undemanding presence is the only thing in the house that doesn't flinch. There's a reason therapy animals work, and it isn't conversation. It's the opposite. The experience of being completely accepted by a creature that asks nothing, judges nothing, and stays. Your cat does this for free in your own home on the nights you need it most. Tonight, if she keeps her vigil while you fall apart, know that you're receiving one of the rarest forms of comfort there is. Not advice, not fixing, just company in the dark. Sign 7. She carries your stress, and that has a cost. This last one is the most important, and it's the reason I made this video. Everything we've talked about, reading your face, matching your mood, hearing your pain, healing with her purr, finding the hurt, keeping the watch, points to one truth. Your cat is not a passive decoration in your emotional life. She is an active participant in it. She absorbs what you bring home. And that means the relationship runs both ways, with real stakes. When you're chronically stressed, she carries some of it. The research on emotional contagion suggests a cat in a high-stress home pays a price in her own body. More anxiety, more illness, a nervous system that never fully rests. She is, in the most literal sense, sharing your load. So the kindest thing you can do for the animal who comforts you is to let yourself be comforted. And then, when you can, to be the calm she borrows from instead of the storm she absorbs. Take care of your own nervous system, and you take care of hers. The bond is a circuit. What you put into it flows back. Tonight, when she comes to you, remember that the comfort is mutual, and so is the responsibility. She has been carrying you. Carry her back. A man wrote to this channel after the hardest year of his life. He said that during the worst of it, when he couldn't get out of bed some mornings, his cat changed her entire routine. She stopped sleeping in her usual spot by the window and started sleeping against his back. Every night, for months. And on the mornings he couldn't move, she didn't pester him for food. She just stayed, pressed close, purring, until he could. He said he used to think he rescued her years ago from a shelter. By the end of that year, he wasn't sure who had rescued whom. That's the thing we get wrong about cats. We think the aloofness is the truth and the tenderness is the accident. It's the other way around. Underneath the independence is an animal who has spent her whole life studying you. Your face, your voice, your moods, your pain, and quietly deciding over and over to stay close to it, to press her small body against the worst of it, to offer the only medicine she has. So tonight, when you find her, take a moment to really see what she's doing. The watching, the staying, the warmth she brings to the exact place it hurts. She has been telling you, in the only way she can, that you're not as alone as you feel. I'm House Cat Heart. I'll see you in the next one.